morning and happy Sabbath.
Happy Sabbath.
How's everybody this morning?
Well.
Praise the Lord. Praise God for taking care of all of us throughout the week, and we are here together to worship Him in spirit and in truth.
Amen.
And another Sabbath closer to the second coming of Jesus that what we've been looking forward. So this morning, I would like to welcome all of you to our Sabbath School program. Thank you, Rocky and Brian, for leading our opening song. And welcome by yours truly, followed by scripture and prayer by Roger DP, then personal growth by Sister Joy Mentnech. And I just want her to take her time, and if we have more time, then we have the missions spotlight. So the program will go on as announced, and I hope and pray that we all blessed by our program this morning.
Good morning, happy Sabbath. Our scripture today will be Matthew 20, 1-7. For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into the vineyard. And he went out with the third hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace, and said unto them, Go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right I will give you. And they went in their way. And again he went out the sixth and ninth hour, and did likewise. And about the 11th hour he went out and found others standing idle, and said unto them, Why standeth ye all day idle? They said unto him, Because no man has hired us. He said unto them, Go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, that shall ye receive.
Amen.
We'll have a word of prayer. Your Father, we're trying to hear, Father. Thank you, Father, for this beautiful Sabbath day, Father. Father, help us to understand the word today, Father. That we would learn today, Father, that word, Father. Be with those who are still on the way, Father. Keep them safe, Father. Those that are traveling here, Father, from their homes, Father. And be with all those that just couldn't make it today for illnesses or for other reasons, Father. Keep them all safe, and please give us a good blessing today, Father, and bless them also, Father. And bless all those that are here, Father. All this I pray in the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Amen.
Good morning and happy Sabbath, brothers and sisters in Christ. I was told to do the personal growth and about my conversion as a Seventh-day Adventist. It is a very long story, so I'm trying to concise it with the help of God. I'm 64 years old, so you know how long that time is, you know. I was baptized on August 20, 2016 when I was 58 years old. That was like, today is July 1. So my 7th year would be in August 20, 2023. And I was baptized during those times when the family was in distress, in perplexity, and with the wounded hearts, and all these problems just come tumbling in our family. So, but before that, I wanna say something about my background as growing up in the Philippines as a child. I am born in Christian parents. My father is a pastor of UCC Church of Christ, and then he changed his religion as a pastor of Church of Christ. So I grew up in that kind of environment. But growing up, I saw like two faces. Like my father preaching he was a very good preacher. But when he comes home, you know, different. So I saw this conflict. So I grew up rebellious because of that. So, but then I also thank my parents because they teach us how to be godly. My parents woke up early in the morning at 4 o'clock praying, like they wake us up. All of us has to join the worship. And all of us has to give the memory verse. And all of us has to sing the song that they picked for the family to do the worship. So I grew up in that kind of environment. So I thank them very much for that influence. So I grew up even in college. I went to college in Manila. I still go to church, even though I sin, because we don't have that 10 Commandments. So that's why I said 10 Commandments is very important, because that's your point of reference that will point you to sin. But I was not told. The 10 Commandments is not really emphasized in our in the Sunday church. So when I come here, so before that, so when I went to college, I sin. Even if I sin, I still go to church. That's my life. So during that college too, before after I graduate, I have a son. I was an unwed mother because I was rebellious to my mother. Rebellious because of their example. So I have this child with me. I supported him as an unwed mother. It's so hard. So life just go tumbling down again. But so I asked God, what's wrong with my life? There's something is missing. So then, what God, I pray for a husband, and God gave me a husband. That's my husband now. So we married. He bring me here with my son, who is 7 years old that time. So it was a different too, because I have so much expectation to be in America. My husband, I take it seriously when he said that. I have a voucher, I have a chauffeur, something like that. So I was like, seriously, he was actually kidding. So when I come home, it was the opposite. So I was into depression, because I was thinking when I come home, everything will be just okay. I can live richly, because I was really materialistic too. Because growing up, we are hard up. My mother was a teacher, the principal retired, and then my father was pastor. All the money goes to the children who go to school. Our oldest sister went to nursing school, so all the money went to there. So we grew up just eating corn grits and coconut. So when I come here, it was the expectation also did not materialize. So I went into depression. So with my son with me, and then there was an experience because my husband don't give me any more money when I come here. Even when I was in the Philippines, I had to borrow money to support myself and my son, and to come in here I had to borrow money because the money didn't arrive. There was no Zoom before. Telephone is, I have to drive to the next province to call him. So this was really hardship in the financial part. But then God is with me. I can tell that He is with me, following me, and providing everything that I needed. Just the things that I needed. I know it and I feel it. So when I come here, I have to work. I have to work as my first job was cleaning houses, and then the second was cleaning the federal building. They have to tie me at my waist so I can clean the outside windows. That's my life. And I said, this is better. Then the next day I never come back because I don't want to be tied again, cleaning the windows, the federal building, the second floor and the third floor. I have to do that because the rest of the workers doesn't want to do it. And they said, joy is I just came in. I just got hired. So they put me to be the one. So I never complain because I want to finish. I want to get the money to pay my debts at home. So what I next I never follow. So I think of something else that I can manage. Since we have farm, we have citrus fruit. So I just gonna go to the market. So that's what I did. Go to the market. And then I found that the market doesn't give me enough money to do what I need. So I went into business. I asked my husband, could you give me 25,000? Could you give me money so I can start a business? So he gave me 25,000. He actually has money, but I don't know what he's thinking, but he just let me just do what I can do to make money. I even asked him, help me. We're going to $5. Then selling 10 oranges for $1. So I said, oh, that I can make more money making flowers. And we have flowers. We have 2 acres of birds of paradise. So that's what I did. But it still doesn't give me enough money for what I needed. I still have to pay my debt. So I said, okay, I want to go into business. So I went into importing. I asked for 25,000, and finally I just keep on asking, bugging him, nagging him. I can do it, you know. So lastly, eventually I was able to convince him to give me the money. So I went to Philippines. I set up a business. I don't know nothing really, you know. It's my first import business. So I went and set up a carpentry, like a factory for making chairs, tables, all these carvings, hand carving business. And then I put it in a container and then put other things to fill up the container. This is 44 container because I don't know nothing. You actually can do 24 containers, so it's lesser things to fill up, lesser money to put up, because I already use up most of my money in putting up the business in the Philippines. So I put up I bought other stuff to fill up the container, plus the carvings that I bought, the furniture that I was supposed to make wasn't finished yet. Of course, it takes time to make furnitures. So I ended up going to Cebu to buy my stuff, bamboo furnitures and other things. So I have the 44 containers. So I have a business. And before that, when I first come here, I have a friend. I have to go to Filipino. I was about to do a Filipino party so you can meet friends. And I met Ninita Eingold, you know, he's one of my, the first Filipino friend. I just realized a teacher because he was Gregor's teacher, and then I think Ninita was my next friend. So she was there in my conversion process. She was the 3 angels' message to me. So she started, by her action, I can see already, she is a Seventh-day Adventist. God already put me somebody. When we were growing up, our neighbor is a Seventh-day Adventist. But because my father is a pastor, I cannot be a Seventh-day Adventist. I really like the Seventh-day Adventists because they're so good. They believe they like what the Bible says. But my family, my parents, they're just good in talking. But there was one time there was somebody, a beggar coming to our house and asking for food because he's a beggar. There's enough food to eat. And he said, we don't have food. And then I said, no, we have food. We have it in the kitchen. He's so mad at me that he has to... he just to spot me because I said something wrong. What's wrong with that? It's true that we have the food in the kitchen. After the beggar left, I never bring anything. So I was so mad at that kind of environment, like saying one thing and then doing a different thing. And then it is all kind of really like, it's not a good thing. But my father really is a good man. He's just trying to support us and trying to support 6 children. Yeah, in the family, the 4 girls and 2 boys. He's trying, and my mom, who is a teacher, so my father does the mother and the father in the family, because my mother has to go work, teaching, this is her lesson plan. But my father is really a good father. He does the cooking and he does, my mother just do the planning, the plan, making the lesson plan. My mother just had to eat, and my father feed us all. So my father is just trying to protect us and feed us, support us. But I didn't see that part. I just see my father is like a liar. My father is, no, my parents did lots of good things to us. Just one thing is to be godly, to be going to church every Sunday. That's Sunday because I'm not Seventh-day Adventist yet. And so then Ninita came into my life. And the 3 angels message, is sharing me in her actions, the way she's one. When I had a business, I have a store. I have a store in Rio Plaza, and then I extended. I have a store in the market. I have a store in the mall, just a little. And then I extended, have a warehouse because I bring more containers. I bring in like 15 containers, 20 photos now. I know better. So not 40. The first one did 40, but I learned better. I learned from it, it's not a good thing to bring more. So I have the 20, but because I keep on bringing, I have so much stuff, and plus this is furniture, needs space, so I extended and have it in the warehouse at Hilo. Ninita was always following me, so she's the best, she's my best employee, So I always hire him. Every time I go, she's with me. go to get my stuff and put it in container, mostly in Indonesia. So I told her, I want Ninita be the one to watch my store, because if not Ninita, my stuff gonna disappear. So I always tell Ninita, can you watch my store? So she was really helping me for that year that I was in business, doing the importing and the store. And then finally God closed my store. And finally also my son grew bigger, and he went to the Air Force for 8 years, and when he comes back, he went back to school in college. But then there was like a pilot program that the politician will be helped for the money part, the campaign funding. So we have to raise that 200 signatures. I was helping that. I think Ninita was helping too. She was really like a really a real friend to me. So every time a problem, I call her, and she don't refuse. She just say no. I cannot remember she said no. So when my son ran for council, and he won too. He got the funding. He won. So everything, just like our life is doing well, because I have the store, I'm making money, and Anita was with me, doing the, I can trust when I go to wherever I go. And everything just went well for that 8 years, 2 terms, and he was a councilman. And then suddenly, everything goes wrong, because he was ran for a higher office. I don't think so it's a good idea, because councilman is 4 terms, you need more of that. But no, he wants to run as a senator. And he lost. He was running for his competition is the incumbent Senator Ruderman. So of course he lost, and I expected that he will lose, So then our life is just crumbling, and everything, my business was not doing well. And finally, I think God closed our business. And then, but I still feel that God is with me. So what will you do if you are me? Then I can see my son is so, he's trying to comfort us, because it seems like we're the ones. It seems like we're the one being so affected with what's going on. No, of course we are, because we love you. And like that, but he still like he's trying his repose to this. But I know he's hurting, and so he moved to Kona, find a job. He worked as a painter, and then worked as a pizza man, and then worked as a all kinds of work. He went to I said, maybe that's good for you, so you learn allow what the people are doing. Then, with that. But you will not be running anymore. Okay, you're gonna be a pastor. I think you'll be better off be a pastor. So I always encourage you. Just forget about politics. Just be a pastor. Serve God. Because I already have a God in me. So I really think that God is serving God is a better profession to do than other anything. And so when he lost, that's when I started to question my faith. I said something wrong with my faith. I think I have to listen what God gave me. And so Ninita again come to me and invited me to the revelation of hope. I know it's a long story. Can I just sing first? And then can I sing first? So I wanna recharge. So that's where everywhere I go, Ninita was there, helping me, comforting me, and so there was revelation of hope. So he invited me in that, plus we have the mailings too, arrived to us. I said, okay, why not? So I grew closer to God during those times that we are in pain, through wounded hearts, and, broken toys, and my business is my toys, I love my business, but God just closed everything on us. So yes, that's it. I feel that God is still with me, and I'm hearing His voice to do something. So we were going to the Nazarene church that time, because there was trouble in the Church of Christ. So we changed church, and also my husband was converted to be instead of a Catholic. He goes with me. So we go as a family together. Growing up, my children are brought into church. So that's our life. So I think I want to recharge. I want to sing first, then I come back. Just a bit. This is my journey, like this I try
each one of us to continue to ask for God's guidance, that we will represent Jesus wherever we go, whatever work we do, and every day of our life. We just need Jesus to work through us so that we can represent Him and be source for Christ. Thank you, Joy, for sharing your testimonies. And at this time, we go now to our Sabbath school study. Thank you.